There is only one job where you make so many friends, have a lot of laughs, travel the world, feel so busy, get so occupied, feel like you constantly have more to learn, yet seem to achieve so little. There is only one job where there's always a long way to go, mountain to climb, humble pie to swallow, so much skying to do, cloud bothering, moon bathing, hustles and hard knocks, and that's the full-time job of poetry. Poetry is the poor cousin at the wedding of real writing. Journalists and authors and comedians and playwrights and broadcasters are real writing. I imagine this great banquet, and there's poetry sitting on the floor, begging and feeding off the scraps it's thrown. A 1-minute slot here, a bit of telly there, a spot of radio, yeah, slipped in like an afterthought, an amuse-bouche, an aperitif, before the juggler and after the hula hoop girl. About once a year, a blackguard writes an article with the headline, "Poetry is the new rock and roll." This is swiftly followed by debates about the health of poetry, as though poetry is an elderly distant relative coughing up blood and awaiting test results. People get quite excited. But then it all goes quiet again, and poetry slumps back to its blogs and the back pages by the crossword and an advert to buy thermal long johns. Poetry is akin to the poi juggler. You can see it takes some skill and practice. But can you be bothered? Poetry is the failed comedy, the indulgent monologue, the verbose non-song with no melody. Poetry is all short, bony lines with no meat or pictures. Poetry is hardly ever asked to sit at the big table with real writing, rarely past the gravy or the bread, never given an actual plate or cutlery, because poetry is on the floor with its ink-stained hands, with bag teeth and all absinthe blind, because poetry is a dog. Because poetry is a sad orphan, because poetry is difficult, because poetry isn't sexy, because poetry audiences have no attention span for a poem that is longer than 1 minute. And writing sits up high at the big table feasting, sucking bone marrow and slurping wine and sour grapes. Interesting. What is real poetry? What is real? It must be the poetry that was expensive, the poetry that told the truth, the poetry that was all about you, the poetry that was all about me. It's the poetry that the clever person told you was clever because they're clever about poetry. It's the poetry that paid homage and bowed to the Queen. It's the poetry of the mad. It's the poetry of the dead. Yes, I think we can all agree dead people wrote real poetry. Dead people wrote real poetry. Woo! I'd rather sit under the table than pull up a chair and join the salesmen and magicians. I suggest as poets we all carry on as we always have, carry on as we always will do, carry on doing our writing, carry on doing our reading, carry on reading, carry on writing as you were and as you are. While the big mouths dribble all over the big table and decide amongst themselves who we are and why we do this. It's a weird life, poetry. I do this on purpose. I tick no box. Thank you. Yeah, this is a new poem. This poem was written whilst watching people argue on the internet. I was watching people argue on the internet about feminism. And this is all the people arguing about feminism, and this poem is my new poem, and this poem is called "My Tits Are More Feminist Than Your Tits." No, my tits are more feminist than yours. No, my tits are more feminist than your tits. No, my tits are more feminist than yours. I think you'll find, actually, my tits are the feminist tits. No, my tits are the feminist tits, the feminist tits. No, my tits are gay tits, my tits are lesbian tits, my tits are minority tits, my tits are black tits. No, but my tits are more black feminist tits than your black feminist tits. My tits are the blackest black feminist tits. My tits are trans tits. Yeah, but my tits identify as women's tits, but my tits have no say, my tits have no voice, my tits have no choice. My tits have no vote, my tits have got no space to be tits. Her tits are good tits. She's got lovely tits, lovely productive tits. Her tits breastfed her babies. Her tits breastfeed in public. Her tits are leaking milk. Those tits are disgusting milky tits. Her tits are leaky milky tits. Look at those tits. Just look at those tits. Her tits are childless. Those tits are just for titillation. Those tits are plastic tit job tits. Shame on those plastic naked booby tips. Shame on those. Shame on those. Her tits are aging badly. Her tits were legends. Yeah, but her tits are Scientology tits now. Her tits were seen drunk in public. One tit popped out. I could see some side boob. Side boob. Did you see some side boob? Side boob. Could see some side boob. Side boob. Have you seen the side boob? Side boob. Who the fuck is side boob? Side boob. Those tits are not real women's tits. Those tits don't do the school run. Those tits don't juggle both motherhood tits and career tits. Those are not the tits of a working mother. Those tits are active tits, positive and sporty tits. Those tits are running a marathon for cancer and tits. Why don't we just all support the tits? Support the tits. Their tits are asking for it. Those tits are begging for it. Those are the tits of a whore. Stop. Sign this petition. Petition. Sign this petition. My tits are more feminist than your tits. No, my tits are more feminist than yours. My tits are more feminist than your tits. My tits are more feminist than yours. My tits are more feminist than your tits. My tits, feminist than yours. Bitchy tits, bitter tits, cunty tits, subtweet tits, anti-tits, resting bitch tits, face tits. Those are my sister's tits. The thing with tits is they're attached to women. Tits. Would you talk to your mother's tits like that? Think about it. 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 Your daughter's going to have tits one day. Stop abusing the tits. Rape tits, hurt tits, benefit cut tits, vulnerable tits. Her tits have no love, her tits have no home. Those tits are refugee tits, those tits are at war, those tits sit in a prison camp, those tits are immigrant tits drowning in the ocean tits, those tits are on opposite side of the barbed wire fence tits, murdered tits, everyday murdered tits. I loved my first bra. It was a 32 AA. Now my tits are a Godden double D. But they won't be like this forever, because you see, tits aren't forever. They're temporary, like teeth. I'll be sad when my tits go, like teeth. Now I want you all to breathe. I want you to think about tits. Think about your tits. You grew those tits all on your own. Give yourselves a round of applause for growing yourselves some tits. Fantastic. All tits are equal, but some tits are more equal than others. I think all women should do what the fuck they like with their own tits. I think all women should do what the fuck they like with their own tits. To bra or not to bra is not a question. You don't have to be such a dick about tits. I wish everyone would stop being such a dick about tits. I love the word tits. I'm going to count to 3 and I want you to shout tits. 1, 2, 3. Tits! Made me very happy. 1, 2, 3. Tits! Now sing along. All we are saying is give tits some peace. Come on. All we are saying is give tits some peace. One more time. All we are saying is give tits some peace. Thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you very much to Michael Morris. It's good to be here. Thank you.
welcome to the stage Vanessa, Vi, and Michael. Hello.